my name is E Choate, and I'm a Gold Belt artist in Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my National Artist Make the Cut audition video. Behind the chair, I'm very passionate about vivids and blonding. In order to have a great vivid, you have to start with the foundation of blonding. A good blonde session is going to be a great vivid session. So today I'll be performing one of my favorite services, a transformative blonding service. A transformative blonding service is essential when you have an uneven canvas. So the middlings and ends of your hair are darker than that nice fresh new growth. So by performing a transformative blonding service, we're going to even out that entire canvas so that all of our colors can blend seamlessly. I'm a big fan of fashion, and working Odette De Silva's fashion hair team, I'm seeing a lot of fashion trends come forward. Y2K is back. Millennium, we have iridescence, we have lots of reflections of metallic colors. So today we will be going for silver hues, and utilizing Apure pigments, we'll be able to enforce and infuse those metallics throughout the hair strand. I can't wait. Hello, this is Laurelyn, our model for today. We will be performing a transformative blonding service. So what that is evening out her entire canvas of hair, taking all of this previous hair color out, as well as brightening her roots all at the same time. So we're gonna be taking her to a brighter blonde that she's used to having. We just have a lot going on this head of hair. So we have some previous hair resting at a level 9 that has been previously lightened, and some old hair color that is a 5 brown gold, as well as her new growth, which is a level 6. So we're going to be using Silk Lift Strong to completely even out this canvas, taking the previous hair color out as well as lightening her roots. Today we will be utilizing Silk Lift Strong to achieve brightness on her ends. We're going to start with 35 milliliters of Silk Lift System Developer with 25 grams of Silk Lift Strong powder. We're going to begin Laurelyn's transformative blonding service. I have her divided into 4 quadrants. We are going to begin in the back. So we are going to be working horizontally up the head, back-to-back slices. We will be taking very thin sections, working back to back up the head to ensure that saturation is accurate. So I'm working on lightening all of this old color and not touching the roots quite yet. And I'm just going to feather it up right to that root area. Make sure it's all nice and saturated. And cover that. For our next section, we're going to take it directly above it, with a section small enough to see through, and do the exact same thing. Feathering up with the side of my brush. So I've completed the first quadrant and working all the way up the head with my Silk Lift with 6%. And now we've started on the second quadrant. I did just want to address these lightened pieces. Since this is previously colored hair and the lightened pieces are obviously already lightened, we can use a lower volume developer on these. So I will be using Silk Lift 3% on these lighter bases. So I'm going to be taking my 6% and saturating that previously colored hair, feathering up with the side of my brush, and then taking my Silk Lift 3% and getting those already previously lightened pieces. And then going back in with my 6% to make sure that we have accurate saturation. Going to be taking my next piece directly above that. Laying that down nice and flat, taking my 6%. Feathering up with the side of my brush. Avoiding that previously lightened blonde. I'm gonna hit that with my Silk Lift 3%. We have completed the compact foiling for Laurelyn. We have done every single quadrant. Every hair on her head does have lightener on it with Silk Lift Strong. Now that that is complete, we're going to go in and touch the smooth growth since it will lift faster than the previously colored hair. So I'm going to start in the back and work my way forward. I'm going to start with this back quadrant and get that new growth. Put this to the side and lift this, pulling it forward, away from her face. And moving on to my next section. I'm going to complete this throughout the rest of the quadrant, move on to the next quadrant, and then move forward. Whenever I apply the lightener to her new growth, I am keeping conscious aware of how much product I'm actually placing on my brush. So I'm not being really messy. I'm taking the amount that I need for her new growth, so that it can stay nice and tidy. After processing for 25 minutes, we are ready to rinse out Laurelyn's hair. I am going to complete the Bond Pro Plus service by utilizing step 2 to ensure that the bonds of her hair are still healthy and the integrity of her hair is still intact. Our next step is toning. I will be utilizing Colorant's Core System Developer Lotion at 2% 7 volume to achieve this. So I have 60 milliliters of my 2% System Developer Lotion. I will be doing 10 mils of 10P, 15 mils of 10BS, and 5 mils of 8CA at PB with 2 drops of Cool Violet, 2 drops of Pearl Blue. In each section with Strucker Equalizing Spray, outlining my section with my Colorants formula, and then working down the hair in a zigzag motion, and then emulsifying all the way through. Our Colorants formula has processed for the entire 25 minutes. Now I'm going to rinse her out and use Bond Pro conditioner and then finish off with a Blonde and Highlights Dual Senses Serum. The Blonde and Highlights Dual Senses Serum is going to give us that added benefit of the anti-yellowing technology and help lock in her color. So we have Laurelyn's section out for her haircut. I did prepare her hair with the Bond Pro Repair and Structure Spray to add some added protection with those interamino bond builders. As far as her sectioning goes, I took 2 diagonal back sections, starting at the apex of her head, going to the highest point of her eyebrow. For her top lid, I did a horizontal radial section. And then for her sides, I took 2 vertical partings, starting with at the toppest part of her ear. And then for the back, we separated the middle part from the occipital, but doing a horizontal section from either side of the ear. We'll be cutting the perimeter once again at a 0-degree angle. Moving forward with the layers, I will be doing vertical partings, holding it at a 90-degree angle, T to the section with a traveling guide. And I'm gonna be doing that on either side. Moving to the front two sections, once again, I'm going to begin by cutting my perimeter at a 0-degree angle, and then I'll be working in vertical partings at a stationary guide, cutting to the desired length with my razor. Moving on to our top section, I'm going to release this section and actually divide it in half horizontally, just for ease so that there's a little bit less hair. And then split this in the middle vertically, separating the left from the right. I'm going to be using my middle section as a guide and cut this entire section at a 90-degree angle, working my way up. Moving on to her fringe, I'm going to be working in horizontal sections. My desired length is right at the crook of her nose, working at a diagonal to keep that length. And I will be using my shears for a bit more control. Now to get some texture, I'm going to be starting at the top of her fringe at a stationary guide, working my way at a 90-degree angle, cutting T to the section to get some texture. Now that we have cut Laura Lynn's shape into her hair, I'm going to proceed with blow drying. So I'm going to be using the air dry BB cream. I'm going to be using this because we're going for a soft lived-in texture rather than a really polished look. So I'm going to be using about a quarter size amount and putting it all through her hair since it's towel drying. Continuing on with her blow dry, I'm going to power dry first, using my blow dryer to get out some of the moisture, and then I'm going to be doing an air wrapping technique with my paddle brush. All right, we are all done with Laura Lynn's styling. So I did take my 1-inch Marcel curler and just did a single turn to keep the ends a little bit straight and give her a more lived-in feel. I alternated each way that I did, so nothing is too structured. We're really going for a lived-in look. And I'm going to finish with some dry texture spray just to kind of break this up a bit and give her a little bit of lived-in hold. I absolutely love our dry texture spray because it's nice and airy, but it still has a little bit of hold. Our service with Laura Lynn is complete. We have done the transformative blonding service. Just as a recap, we started at a new growth of a level 6 natural with bands of 5 brown gold and pieces of 9 natural on her ends. And using Silk Lift Strong and Colorant's Core with pure pigments, we've completely transformed her look into a bright, pearly, reflective blonde. So just like fashion and metallics coming back, we have silver hues all throughout. We have reflections of blue, violet, and pink all throughout her hair being reflected. So she's on trend, she's bright, she's beautiful, and she's healthy, all thank you to Goldwell. Look at me. Yay! A huge part today of Laura Lynn's successful visit was due to the service cycle. By having a thorough consultation with her, I found out that she was over the dark hair. She wanted something bright, blonde, reflective, and more on trend. She also wanted low maintenance, so a shaggy haircut was the perfect way to go. For preparation, I had my Silk Lift and all my tools needed ready for whenever I needed them. Application was clear. Transformative blonding was the way to go. So with clean sections and partings, I was able to keep everything nice and clean so that I could have a thorough blonding service. Her post-care and styling was a no-brainer. Bond Pro was the way to go. We wanted to keep those bonds intact and keep her hair nice and healthy. The air dry BB cream was perfect for her lived-in look. It's low maintenance and it feels really weightless on her hair. With the dry texture spray added as well as the weightless shine oil, it gave that soft, lived-in texture without feeling weighed down and sticky. For her post-care and styling at home, she was able to take home Bond Pro shampoo and conditioner and finish that routine at her house. And she will also be utilizing the silver 60-second mask once a week to keep those cool tones intact with the anti-yellowing technology. And that way her hair feels really good. I hope you enjoyed the service as much as I did. Thank you so much.